Hello everybody, welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel and this is Dearly Departed and it is the Game Week 2 review. If you don't know, Dearly Departed focuses on the 5 teams who I've covered in the Championship who very cleverly managed to find their way out of it and into the Premier League. Although Norwich have found their way back down, we do regular shows here covering the fortunes of Leeds, West Brom, Fulham, and then Villa and Sheffield United from the previous season. So we're going to look at how those teams went in game week number 2. But before we go any further, I must say that this entire series is brought to you in association with a fan sponsor. Thank you very much to J. Coyle, who says, "Dearly departed, also known as Ben, couldn't bear to lose us." And he doesn't look exactly like Helder Costa. That is Helder Costa, but that's the picture he sent me. So thank you so much to Jay for sponsoring this little series over here on the channel. You too can be a fan sponsor on other channels if you want to help support the channel. So let's pick out our teams there. West Brom crashing at Everton 5-2. Leeds in another 4-3 win in our first dearly departed derby of the season. 2 of the teams playing one another there. Leeds beating Fulham 4-3. And last night we did it as a watch along, was Aston Villa 1, Sheffield United 0. So we got 2 dearly departed derbies in one game week. Fabulous stuff. And let's deal with Leeds and Fulham first off. And Leeds involved in another 4-3. God damn it. They're certainly providing much entertainment. Leeds get off to their first victory. Fulham lose again. In terms of the teams, well, Leeds very stable as they tend to be under Bielsa. No Hernandez there, so Rodrigo making his first start there, but only lasting 45 minutes, sort of in a number 8 position, I guess, in central midfield there. For Fulham, look, Areola starts in goal. Feel a bit sorry for Marek Ruddock. There's Kenny Tete at right back. He played at Ipswich in the week. There's no Tim Ream. Dennis Adoy is playing centre back there. Anguissa starts and Tom Kearney doesn't. Mitrovic back in the team. He didn't start in the first week. Let's just say Leeds are a little bit more stable in their team selection than Fulham are at the moment. And there is the opening goal. Brilliant goal, actually. Corner not defended, but you wouldn't expect Helder Costa to be able to smash that bar and in and beat everybody there for 1-0. Great finish by Costa. There. Here we go with the first decision that we need to question in this game week. That is, well, first of all, I want to know, Leeds fans, that's the second penalty that Koch has conceded in 2 games in the Premier League. He really does throw himself into that tackle. So first of all, he's a little bit careless. And then my view on it is it's one of those. There is some contact. Is the contact proportional to bring a 6 foot, 13 stone elite athlete with great balance to the ground? No, probably not. But hey, it's always been this way. It's never to do with actually would the tackle have actually felled the man. I know that sounds ridiculous, but Joe Bryan, you can see, has left his right foot in there and goes down to win the penalty. The good thing in this game is we're going to have another penalty in a minute where we can even things up a little bit, let's just say. So Bryan goes down, wins the pen, and Mitrovic, you can see, sticks it in the corner for 1-1. And then look, it's actually Joe Bryan as well with Pat Bamford, who has his eyes on the ball as the cross goes over, feels a hand in the back, and down he goes. Again, I'm sure, look, this is subjective, isn't it? Is the contact enough to deem a player going down and be a foul? I don't know. Unless we can actually see I don't even know what you'd measure it in, force per square inch on the body measurement, then we won't know. But at least the good thing in this game is you've got one up one end where not a lot of contact, penalty gets given. One up the other end, hand on the back. You know, Bamford could stay up, but he feels the hand and he goes down. And can we just all agree each side got a penalty? Probably not proportional contact with either of these players, Bamford or Joe Bryan, going down, but they do, and both the penalties are scored. So I guess hopefully we can all sit there and say, look, there we are. We're all reset and equilibrium restored. Matt Klitsch, he's great at penalties, isn't he? Just kind of strolls up, waits for the keeper to go and slides it in the other corner for 2-1. He's got 2 goals already from central midfield. That's going to be a theme. Criticisms of Leeds the past 2 seasons. They're not very good at finishing and they don't spread the goals out enough. Well, first 2 games, they've certainly remedied that this season. 2-1 Leeds. Great finish there by Pat Bamford, who started the season beautifully, scored in both games. He's going to get an assist in a minute as well. He's just going to shape that into the far corner, just getting inside, in between Tete and Hector there. Nice finish. Great start to the season for Bamford, who had a lot of detractors the past 2 years. Hopefully, they are warming to the world of Pat Bamford there. And Helder Costa's going to smash in another one for 4-1. But obviously I don't have the rights to Premier League football. I can show you a still. But if we did have the rights, I could show you Pat Bamford running all the way down the left wing, accelerating away and putting in a beautiful cut back sort of low cross there for Costa. So well done Bamford, well done Costa as well. Great contributions from all of these Leeds players. You know, you score 7 goals in your first 2 Premier League games. That's lovely, isn't it? That defending isn't lovely though. If you look at that, Bobby Reid has been played in there, as you can imagine. Big chance there. He's going to stick that to Meslier's right-hand side, and make it 4-2. Are you keeping up? And then this is a situation you don't want to see. A floaty cross with the defender doing a standing jump and Mitrovic doing a running jump. He just barges and smashes the header into the goal. And it ends 4-3. So, we're looking for positives. Well, for both our dearly departed teams here. Fulham scoring 3 goals in a Premier League game. Mitrovic getting 2 of them. I guess they will see that as some kind of positive. Leeds getting off the mark and their first win. That is a huge positive. Let's look at the stats there. 50-50 on the possession, 14 shots to 10 in Fulham's favour there, but 7 shots to 6 on target in Leeds' favour, 5 corners to 3. Always a stat I find revealing is big chances. Look at that, Fulham 3 big chances, Leeds 1 big chance. So again, Leeds at the start of this season, and along with many people who look at these numbers, have said, you know, we'd see in the Championship week after week, Leeds dominating all of those stats, loads of big chances and not taking them. It's the complete opposite in the first 2 games in the Premier League. They're finishing everything, aren't they? I mean, okay, 10 shots, 7 on target, 1 big chance. But still, 4 goals from those 7 shots on target. So they are finishing brilliantly, Leeds, but conceding a lot of chances. The pass is very even there, 4-4-4 to 4-3-8. Fulham with more accurate passes. So you can read these underlying numbers in whatever way you like, really, because when we get underlying numbers that are not obvious, but what I mean by obvious numbers is if you are a coach, what you want to see is you're ahead on possession, shots, any territory stats, corner kicks. You create a lot of big chances, you don't concede any. Then you're very, very happy. You know you have played well. When you get this type of thing where you conceded 3 big chances and only made 1, then you know that there's some room for improvement here. You're very happy that you're finishing really well. And we've seen examples of that in all of the stills there, particularly on the 2 Helder Costa goals. And the obvious, the one big chance is the penalty kick. The biggest chance you get in football virtually, isn't it? The still ball from 12 yards, 77% chance of scoring. But what I would contend and what I would ask Leeds fans to comment on is these type of underlying stats to results metrics, they go one of 2 ways. Either the excellent finishing stops and games start being lost. You don't want to continually be winning games where you have less big chances than the other team. This happened at Anfield last week, and Leeds finished really well, very close in the game. Lots of Leeds fans sort of debated with me on that. So either the finishing drops off a little bit and then games start being lost, or the people like Koch in the defence and just the team settle down a bit to the Premier League and they stop conceding the big chances. So even if the finishing drops off a little bit, they'll still be competitive. Either way, we know Bielsa looks at these numbers, and although he'll be happy with 7 goals and a first win and everything, he'll want the big chances conceded to be dropping and the big chances created to go. We know he will. He's spoken about that. However, good for Leeds to get off the mark and the first win. Great for Bamford to be scoring. And look, we knew they were going to be entertaining. And 7 goals for, 7 goals against. I just think Bielsa will just want those numbers to skew underline. Ultimately, he won't care if they're winning and they're winning consistently. But we've discussed on the channel over the years, not with Leeds, but with other clubs, it's not ultimately sustainable. Lots of people told me, for example, before Nottingham Forest dropped off last year, that said, Ben, look at the numbers, they will drop off. You can't continually have, very few good chances and keep winning games whilst conceding good chances. So let's see how that pans out. In terms of Fulham, they've got 0 points and they've conceded 7 goals. So I'd much rather be in Leeds fans' position here, kind of saying, okay, we're scoring goals, we're finishing well, we've got a win, and maybe a few of the numbers could be more in our favour. If I'm a Fulham fan, none of the numbers are in my favour at the moment. Well, other than, creating 14 shots at Leeds and scoring 3 goals from 3 big chances, that's fairly decent, but they've lost the game. Good news that Mitrovic has come in and scored a couple. Lots of questions about Bamford and Mitrovic in the Premier League. Great that they both have 2 goals. If I'm a Fulham fan, I'm very worried though. No points and 7 goals against. I know Leeds have got 7 goals against, but they have got 3 points, and ultimately that is what matters. Please get your comments in. If you're a Leeds fan, if you're a Fulham fan, where are you standing on this as your teams settle into the Premier League? What are your views on what I've said about the sustainability over 38 games of what we're kind of learning from the first 2? Let me know what you think as we go to last night's game. And God, we're going to have to talk about more red card decisions and penalty decisions there. So Villa debuting Martinez there. Cash is in the team. Ollie Watkins, their recruitment there. Sheffield United give Ollie Burke a start up top. No Norwood in midfield for them. And here it is. So this was a red card for John Egan. And can we just be grown up in the comments? This red card is massively subjective, okay? Let's not have, it's a definite red all day long, or no, it's never a red. That's just not helpful, and it's not the case. This is in no way black and white. Whichever way it is, it can only kind of be, 55% one way and 45% the other. These rules, laws are subjective. So what we're talking about here is a pull by John Egan on Ollie Watkins. I'll give you my position here so I don't get accused of sitting on the fence. I think this is a foul. So my position is that he's fouled him. So now what we're into is, has he denied him an obvious goal-scoring opportunity? Please don't use the terms last man. It doesn't matter if he's the last man, because he can be the last man and Aaron Ramsdale can come out and clear that ball and it's not a goal-scoring obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Do you see what I mean? Let's frame the debate right. This is subjective, so please, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Don't yell at them. It's not black or white. My view is it's a foul. And then we are into, is Ramsdale going to get to that ball first? Or is Watkins going to get to that ball first? Obviously, you can't see the speed of it travelling. And furthermore, does John Egan's pull disproportionately affect Ollie Watkins' ability to get to that ball first? Because you can argue, Ramsdale will get there first. But if he's been pulled back, then that is a mitigating factor. What I'm saying is, on this, I'm going to absolutely plead the fifth. I am not sitting on the fence. I think it's a foul. but I'm very much struggling with whether that's a yellow or a red card on the basis of, unless you give me a speed equals distance time equation on John Egan's speed, Ollie Watkins' speed, Aaron Ramsdale's speed, the direction and speed of the ball and all players, and how is Watkins' speed disproportionately affected by the foul by Egan, if indeed you believe it is a foul, then we could get a black and white answer. If you get some physicist to map out who's getting to that ball first, and if the physicist says it's Watkins, it's a red card. If the physicist says it's Ramsdale, it's a yellow card. If the physicist said it would have been Watkins, but it's going to be Ramsdale, but because of the foul it would have been Watkins, then it's a red card. So that's where I am on this. I don't know. It's very subjective, and let's just frame the debate in the right way and allow others to agree and disagree and say, look, unless we can get those numbers on who's going to arrive at the ball first, if you subscribe to my theory that it is a foul, I'm sure we'll get some people to say it's not a foul. I think it is, but you're entitled to your opinion on that. So, a highly subjective red card, let's just say. So, let's try and be sensible in the comments and not be, oh, it's a definite red, or it's definitely not a red. That's nonsense. If you say that, frankly, you don't understand the law, because the law is subjective and you can't give a black or white answer to a subjective law. It's always, in the view of the referee, this was a obvious goal-scoring opportunity, and the VAR. It's not black or white. Let's just do that. Anyway, the red card happens, and by God, Sheffield United force a penalty up the other end. And here we go again. I, again, am happy that this is a foul. There is contact by target on Basham. And then we have exactly the same situation of the ball is rolling away. If target had not fouled Basham, or if Basham had not gone down, the equation here between a yellow and a red card is Basham going to be able to get a shot off on goal? Not is he going to score, it's obvious goal scoring opportunity. He doesn't have to score it, it's just the opportunity. So, again, this is even more difficult to tell because Basham's falling to the ground. You can't even tell where he would be in his sprint. Is Martinez going to be able to dive on the ball? Does Konza and Mings, number 4 and 5, do they stop? Would they be able to stop the goal scoring opportunity? I don't know. I mean, Jesus Christ, this is so subjective. I think they got this one right. I'm going to be a bit more off the fence on this one. It doesn't mean I'm biased towards Villa or Sheffield United either way. I think Martinez would be able to prevent the goal scoring opportunity if Basham stayed up by diving and palming the ball away. I think he can get there first. That's a guess based on what I'm seeing there. So again, it's totally subjective. So what I'm saying is I'm very unsure on the red card, but I think they got this one right. I think it's a penalty and I think it's a yellow card. However, look at that. Martinez saves the penalty from John Lundstrom. So look, loads of stuff to go in on refereeing decisions. This is only fun if people are not emotional about it, okay? Please get the debate going on whether you think it was a red for Egan or a yellow for Egan or not even a foul, whether you think it was a penalty, no penalty, yellow, red for target, etc. But it's only fun if we're not absolute jerks to each other, and people can be very emotional about these things. And remember, it's not did the ball cross the line or not. That's black and white. If it's a millimetre over, it's a goal. If it's not, it's not. That's black and white. This is subjective, so we can't have a black and white debate. It was definitely a penalty. It was definitely a yellow or red card. As long as we frame the debate right, I'm happy. Here is the only goal of the game. The 11 men score against the 10. Tyrone Mings, who you see just turning back on the sort of near post area, has flicked that on. And Ezri Konza is going to head that in. Good climb. Gets good power on the header there, giving it a bit of a floaty flick on from Mings. Ramsdale, some questions again. Could he have got across and saved that? It doesn't matter because it went in and the game ends 1-0. As you can imagine there, given that John Egan was sent off sort of 10-12 minutes into the game, 71% on the possession, 18 shots to 4. Only 2 on target, 10 corners to 4. But again, I always say I'm a broken record. Big chances is revealing. Sheffield United 1 big chance, Aston Villa 0. So the general game state of this for 90 minutes, Sheffield United can genuinely feel that they should have got something from this game. Ergo, they missed the penalty. So even if Villa do score, they've still missed a penalty, which would have given them a point. Ifs, buts, maybes, Villa get the win. Villa get the 3 points. They're 1 for 1, given they didn't play in the first game week. And Sheffield United are 2 defeats and no goals. They didn't score against Wolves, did they? So Chris Wilder he framed the Wolves defeat for Sheffield United as, look, we played really badly for the first 7 minutes and conceded 2 goals. I'm sure he'll frame this one about the red card, and he's right. And if he doesn't think it was a red card, then, well, even if he does think it's a red card, it's reasonable enough for him to say, look, in this game where we had 10 men for the most part, we did okay. So, not all doom and gloom if you're a Sheffield United fan. If they can then, not concede 2 goals in the first 7 minutes of a game. And I saw a game, Barnsley-Reading, at the weekend where I came away saying, look, Reading won and the game was massively helped by a red card. And I would say the same thing here. Villa won and they were helped by the red card. They'll take it and they'll take the 3 points, and both sides will have to move on. So get your comments in. And again, I will reiterate, if you're debating the red cards and the yellow cards, these are subjective matters. So do allow other people. They are allowed to disagree with you, and it doesn't make them wrong. It's subjective. Unless you give me the physicist's view of forces and speed and all of that nonsense, it will remain subjective to me. So I'll accept either view, and that's okay, isn't it? What's not okay is conceding 5 goals and expecting to win a game. West Brom lose again, and they're leaking goals. All the promoted teams here, particularly Leeds, Fulham and West Brom. Well, that is all the promoted teams. I class my dearly departed 5. And there's a stark difference there because they're not overly leaking goals. But 5-2. In terms of West Brom, that's fairly stable, isn't it, from last week? Yes, they've kept O'Shea in at centre back, so no Higazi on the bench. I'm expecting that to be a change at some point, and no forwarding yet. Everton obviously had a great win at Spurs, and lots of plaudits for Alan, Doucouré and Rodriguez, who have come into the team as new signings. Great goal. Grady Diangana gives West Brom the lead. Their left foot outside of the box, that's going to fly in the corner, so great start. However, that is Dominic Calvert-Lewin's going to score a hat-trick in this one. And I really like this type of hat-trick where you add up the yardage of the goal, of each goal, and add them together. And the whole hat-trick is basically scored from about 4 yards. So he reacts there, and he's going to just kind of prod that, backheel that in from virtually on the goal line for 1-1. That is James Rodriguez, who is going to thread the eye of the needle there with that shot. There's 2 players in his way. The keeper looks fairly well positioned there. He looks like he's on his toes as well, but he's going to put that low with pace right into the corner. It's a good finish by Rodriguez for 2-1. In the background there, that is Kieran Gibbs with a hand up, and he's going to get a red card for that, and Slaven Bilic was very, very unhappy about that. I don't want to again go into IFAB wordings and stuff, but I guess we're talking about violent conduct there and hands raised, and I'm not overly familiar with the wording, so let me know your thoughts on that one. There, another brilliant goal. The 2 loanees from last year, Diangana and Pereira, both signed this year. He's miles out, and he's going to smack that free kick into the top corner. Outstanding goal by Pereira, a superb player as well. His first Premier League goal, isn't it? Yes, it is. Here is Michael Keane, who's going to score from 3 yards again. And when we talk about big chances, we'll have a look and see what the stats say. But West Brom conceding a lot of big chances close to the goal, let's just say. There is Dominic Calvert-Lewin with his second. What are we up to now? 4-2. You can see it's been slid across, and he's just going to prod that in over the line. God, maybe the combined distance is about 1 yard, not about 4 yards. No, there you go. On the 6-yard box there, Calvert-Lewin heads in for the hat-trick, and it is 5-2. 71% possession, 17 shots for Everton to 6 for West Brom. And you would admit, even if you're a West Brom fan, both the West Brom goals were just brilliant worldies from outside the box. So we talked about Leeds and the sustainability of, that type of chance creation and chance conceded. That is not sustainable, conceding 4 big chances and scoring 2 absolute worldies. On another day, and Leeds fans got upset with me saying this, but I'm going to say it again about West Brom. On another day, we can call that one 4-0, can't we? If Iain doesn't smash in a worldie and Pereira don't smash in a worldie, there's 4 big chances there. So I know people don't like me saying that, and it's not fun when it's your team, but I don't think it's unreasonable of me. I said this last week about Leeds. I always look at the big chances. It's not a golden bullet, but it's more revealing than you'd imagine. And I think it's more revealing than any other stat. Look, I know someone will come back and say, Ben, the only stat that matters is goals for and goals against. Of course. But remember, goals for doesn't even tell us who's going to win. How many times will a team score 2 goals away from home like Everton and like West Brom, and 3 goals away from home like Fulham? 0 points for those 2 teams with a combined 5 goals in away games. So even goals scored doesn't even predict who's going to be the winner. So you know what I'm saying. 799 passes for Everton. This is not good for West Brom. I know they had 10 men and that is a mitigating factor as well. But they've not started well. West Brom and Fulham leaking goals like no one's business. There's the table. So our dearly departed leaders are Aston Villa. Only 1 game played. They got 3 points, 1 goal for, 1 against. Leeds are there in 10th, 7-4, 7 against. Brilliant stuff, and they've got their first 3 points. So well done to them, and congratulations, particularly to Pat Bamford. And then we have to scroll our eyes a little bit further down, and we found 3 of our remaining, the 3 remaining dearly departed teams in the bottom 4. Sheffield United have lost both of their games. However, Chris Wilder, and I agree with him, will argue, okay, a dumb first 10 minutes against Wolves and then better for the next 80 minutes and a red card. So some mitigating factors to hold on to if you're a Sheffield United fan. Whereas if you're a Fulham fan, 4-3 against 7, well, you're holding on to the fact that you created some chances and scored some goals in the game against Leeds, and that if you can shore up the defence, maybe Mitrovic and Reed and Onoma and Cavaliero can get you some goals, but you can't concede 3.5 goals per game and stay up. It's not going to happen. That's going to be 100 goals conceded, isn't it? So it's all about the game state just becoming a little more balanced in terms of Fulham, and the same for West Brom. Even worse, 4-2 against 8, and the 2 goals were worldies as well. You're not, even though Iain and Pereira are great players, really good teams like Liverpool and Man City, they score tap-ins. They don't score worldies all the time. They do score worldies because they've got quality players. But Pep Guardiola, if you gave him 59 goals and 49 of them were for tap-ins with beautiful pattern of play and cutting the ball back and scoring from 6 yards, good teams score tap-ins. So you cannot rely on worldies. And that is my only worry at the moment with some of our dearly departed, that they're actually outscoring their XG, which, as I say, goes one of 2 ways. Either the XG catches up the goals or the goals regress to the XG. And I suppose that's the biggest worry maybe with Leeds at the moment. But the mitigating factor with Leeds, as we know the pattern of play is so good, that there is more of an argument that the XG will catch up the performance. And again, please don't get overly emotional. I'm just telling you the numbers point of view and what that generally predicts. It's not always right. We've just said, you can't even predict the outcome of a football match knowing the amount of goals that a team has scored. You can score 4 goals and lose a game, for goodness sake. Doesn't happen very often, but there you go. Right. Let's just have a quick little look forward. And we have more dearly departed derbies next week. Another 2. Sheffield United versus Leeds is on the... And I'm struggling with my days of the week here. Is it on Sunday at 12? Let me figure that out. I might watch along that one then. In fact, I probably will. Look out for that. yeah, we might do a watch along. And I plan to do Fulham, Aston Villa as well. You have got, where's West Brom? West Brom, come on. They've got Chelsea at home with that defence. I'm already Warnocking it, and as I said, Fulham, Aston Villa. So another 2 dearly departed derbies. So I'll try and get the watch-alongs going for those 2 derby games if they're not on the Saturday. Get your comments in. If you are an overly emotional football fan, this channel is not for you, I'm afraid, because we're trying to be balanced. So please don't get too cross about any comments I've made about red cards. I always try and reference the laws and say it either way. I'm not sitting on the fence. If it is a subjective decision, I'm not going to give a black and white answer because that would be nonsense. I cannot. I can give you my opinion as far as I can give it. And even on the John Egan one, I find it even hard to give an opinion. It's too difficult. I think I have done on the Chris Basham penalty. And I think I did on the Leeds and Fulham penalties. And on the numbers, you may not like what I'm saying. I'm just giving a kind of statistical breakdown of what they might mean. I'm not saying they will mean it. And numbers change and performance can catch up numbers and numbers can regress down to performance. This has to go one way or the other, doesn't it? So, and just as a rule, I am behind all of the dearly departed teams. You know, we've built up a great subscriber base and fan base here. So we did get some emotional comments last week. Let's try and keep the comments to analytical and an opinion and giving credence to others' opinions. Let's just say and cut the arguing out. We had a few fans arguing in the comments. That's not what the channel's for, honestly. But there you go. Freedom of speech. You can argue if you want. Just try and not insult anybody. Interact, please, with me on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. YouTube had one of their annoying subscriber culls yesterday where they delete, presumably lapsed accounts and things of that nature. So we need the subscribers to go back up. You can join the Fantasy League. We'll do the Fantasy League video tomorrow, although I'm not very happy with Song Hyun Min for reasons you will find out. You can listen to this show on podcast as well. Please support. I don't have a job because of COVID. We're trying to make a go of this, so I do need revenue streams. So shop front is www.amazon.co.uk/shop/the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. I think we're going to add some more lists on there. Thank you to people who've shopped there already. You can subscribe via Patreon. $3. $3 is basically a donation, your name in the description. $5 you get the extra content there, the Patreon only Q&As, Patreon only vlogs, and I vlog from behind the scenes, behind closed doors, Reading Barnsley. I was at the game, lucky for me, and did a vlog of that. So well worth subscribing. I hope we're going to add some more perks in as we go when we start doing interviews. You'll be at the head of the line for questions. And like Jay has done on this channel, you can sponsor as a fan. You can do a fan sponsorship. And if you run a business, you can do a business sponsorship, sponsor the whole channel. Thank you once again to Jay, who is our fan sponsor, dearly departed, also known as Ben Couldn't Bear to Lose Us. There's some truth in that. From a business point of view, I mean, look, people criticise. Look, go figure, turn on YouTube, get criticised. This is what happens. But it does make logical sense that we continue for at least a couple of years covering the teams that went up. And look, if the number doesn't go, we know teams go up and come down. If the number stays around 5, then hopefully we can continue covering it. The numbers have been good, so there is still the appetite for people to watch. So there may be some truth in what Jay is saying. And we thank him again for his sponsorship. Wow, I've gone really long, 33 minutes on 3 games. But come on, guys, there was like 7 goals and red cards and penalties in each of the games. Get your comments in, be nice, and I will see you all the next Dearly Departed video. I might hopefully get time to do the second Leeds United Take Us Home. If not, the next Dearly Departed video will be the preview on Friday of the weekend's game. So do check that out. Thank you for watching, and it's over and out.